Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be one entire park in this video for this speed build. I wanted to do a park with all of the early Cretaceous dinosaurs in it from the new DLC pack. I keep wanting to say late Cretaceous. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, but for some reason, late Cretaceous just rolls off the tongue better. But anyways, it's the early Cretaceous pack, so it's got the Kronosaur, the Minmi, the Wuerhosaurus, and the Dsungaripterus. And I just wanted to kind of do a little more in-depth enclosures for them than I did when I just did the preview video a few days ago. So this is the full park in this video, and I'll have a little tour at the end, and I'm just gonna, blab on when I have something to say. This obviously is going to be the Kronosaurus exhibit first, and there's going to be, I think, like 4 or 5 of them in there. Big old exhibit. I'm trying to use, I don't want to say experiment, because I know other people do this too, so it's not like I'm the only one doing it, but I really do kind of want to use like different viewing galleries and stuff like that, just to kind of like change things up a bit, change the look. Oh, I should mention I'm not using very many mods in this. I'm actually only using one mod right now because most of the mods are broken after the update, so they're, getting fixed. But I am using the expanded terrain tools map by Chaotic. The only thing that you can't replicate without mods, like if you're on console and you can't use mods, the only thing in this video that you wouldn't be able to do is some of the rock decorating that I do, like where they overlap each other, which you'll see in a little bit, or when I use them to like overlap some parts of buildings to kind of give it a rocky look. You won't be able to do that. But other than that, like the terrain tool just makes it the I can't talk today. It just makes the tool so you can like dial it down a little bit, make it a smaller area of effect, like how I got that really thin river and all that kind of stuff. So basically it just makes everything more precise as far as the tools go, and the decorating tools and the paint tools and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, you can do anything I do in here on console without this mod. It's just, it won't be as precise or as accurate as, like that thin bit of river right there, or the very like minimal amount of decorations that I put down sometimes. So I mean, the mod just kind of makes, I feel like the mod just sort of makes your life easier. It doesn't do anything that you can't do otherwise on console, other than the rock thing. It just makes my life a little bit easier. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, I mean, it just kind of and just plows everything down. Well, plus this is at like 10 times speed, so sure, it looks crazy. But so yeah, so I kind of, while I was thinking of like how I wanted to do different areas, I went back and forth between like enclosures and guest areas, and then I remembered I need all this stuff in order to actually put dinosaurs in the hatcheries. So that's basically what this is right here. And it's just gonna eventually, like, after I get the basics down, I kind of leave this area, but eventually it'll be like a guest area with some hotels and restaurants and stuff. And then this is where, there we go. So now this you're not going to be able to do without this mod, what I'm doing right here. And I'm basically just overlapping the rocks on top of the wall of the enclosure. Wow. Today's not a good talking day. On top of the wall of the lagoon, and it's yeah, like I just like how it looks. Like if you look at it from inside the lagoon, it looks weird because you have like rocks sticking through the concrete. But if you look at it from like the guest perspective, like walking on the paths, it just looks really cool, and then it just doesn't look like boring slabs of concrete. So yeah, this is the thing you definitely can't replicate without this mod. The mod basically makes it so that the rocks have no build limitation, and it allows you to overlap them. So like even when it shows up red, at any point on here when it shows up red, you can still place it. So that's, it just gives you more freedom with decorations, and it also means that my parks will have a gratuitous amount of rocks in them. It also, under normal circumstances, in conjunction with the free build mod, it also makes it so they are recognized as like solid structures, those overlapping rocks, and you can actually use it as a an enclosure wall, basically. But yeah, all right, so we're adding some guest areas here. Just kind of zooming through it. See, look, gratuitous rocks. It's just all. I love rocks. I also love like logs and stuff like that. So I'm really sad that we don't have any individual trees that you can place like that. I cannot believe it. Like that's something they added on at towards the end of the update life of the first Jurassic World. And along with rocks, keep in mind, you got like 3 or 4 rocks or something like that. And then they give us all these rocks and they didn't give us individually placeable trees. Or some logs would have been cool or something like that. And I was just like, couldn't believe it. Oh, so this is another thing I did with the rock mod. What I was trying to do is to see if I could actually put the rocks in the bottom to decorate the bottom of the enclosure, since they have no, barrier, but it didn't work. But then, like, putting it on top worked. I wish I could put snow on them, because then it would look like icebergs or something. And I know the Kronosaurus is from Australia, but we've obviously adapted these dinosaurs and other creatures to live in colder climates. So, But anyways, oh gosh, what was I talking about? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, cannot believe that we don't have individual trees. I can't believe it. Like we had them at the end of Jurassic World Evolution 1. Like the fact that didn't carry over into the base game of 2 is, like, in my opinion, the biggest folly of the game. Like because I'm a big Sandbox player, because, that's what I care about more than anything else. I mean, I like storyline and stuff like that, and I really, really, really enjoyed the storyline with the first game, but, in this one it's sort of lacking, so my focus really is on Sandbox, and, yeah, I just can't believe it. I cannot believe we don't have, individually placeable trees. So that's my, Jurassic World Evolution, like, rant, I guess. Like seriously, that's the biggest thing that bothers me, is that we don't have individual trees. And there's so many places in this park where I would have put 1 or 2 trees instead of like a ton of rocks or a brush, painting over it with the tree brush and stuff like that. So yeah, those are my thoughts and feels on decorations. Other than that, like I love all the little decor they've given us. All that stuff's nice. And that was all stuff that got added in late. The stuff that was in Jurassic World Evolution, the first one. That's, those decorations got added in late. And they transferred over. So I just don't understand how the trees did not come with it. I don't get it. It seems like the biggest mistake that they made. Other than making it so that your dinosaurs can fight each other. Or not giving you an option to make it so that dinosaurs can't fight each other in Sandbox. Like, that's crazy too. Anyways, I swear I wasn't going to just rant this whole time. Let's see. So this enclosure over here is going to be not a mixed enclosure, but like a half and half enclosure. And then it's going to have a gyrosphere ride, and it'll go through both enclosures. It's going to be half Wuerhosaurus, half Minmi. I was going to put them together. I know in Sandbox they wouldn't mind being together, but I decided to do them separate since they normally wouldn't get along together. And I'm trying to do, a park that's based on the dinosaurs instead of the dinosaurs being based around the park. So, I figured I would stick with the fact that they don't actually get along with each other. This is more just like digging down with the tool. I don't know if this is a problem for everyone else, but I was having a real problem getting my gyroscope to actually start working, like to start moving. I mean, I know right now, like, I don't think it normally would. But yeah, like even with dinosaurs in here, like it wasn't working. So I had to like delete it and do it all over again. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, just some, light sculpting going around. Like I wasn't doing anything too dramatic in this park because I wanted it to be, more about the dinosaurs in the park. Since got this new DLC already. But yeah, we're gonna put the Minmis are gonna come over here. I did a really silly thing, because I really like because of the egg hatching, like, don't get me wrong, the ability to just transport your dinosaurs straight from the incubator into another park or into another enclosure, that's another one of those really, really, really awesome additions they made to this game. But because of the egg hatching and hatching them in groups, I really, really love watching them come out of the incubator. So it's a little ironic. So like I was like, okay, well, I'll do the Minmi part first in the back. And then I'll release like 10, 15 Minmi, right? Or Minmi. and and then I'll just open a gate and they'll just walk over there, right? Because in the old game, like, if you put food and water in part of an enclosure, put up a fence, opened a gate, they would just run right for it most of the time. Doesn't quite work that way in this game, I think, because of how with the herbivores the food's different and it's just spread out and they'll just graze and everything like that. So I had like 15 Minmi just milling about and the other ones, so I had to shoot them all and carry them over there. But yeah, I really do like watching like the clutches, so to speak, like all come out together. I think that, you know, that's another really cool addition and improvement to this game. So yeah, let's see. So here we're just doing guest area. I didn't like how that hotel raised the ground. That kind of bothered me, so I think I got rid of it. Yeah, like I was really all about this park being flat, mostly. Like I kind of like the idea of it being like scooped out from like this mountainous area. Then you have like the mountains around it, so it's kind of like a valley behind it, and then you got the bay in front of it. So I was just really all about flat for the most part. I love this. Kind of you can only see it really from certain angles, but I really love the red brush decorative. What is it? Decorative foliage. Wow, foliage. I can't even I don't even have the excuse of it being like super early in the morning. I'm just not talking well today. But the red berry looking bushes that are like the base decorative grass in this map, like I really like it. It looks really nice. It looks kind of not Christmassy, but winter holiday, you know, with the snow and then those like red berries everywhere. I think it looks really cool. I wish I could use it on other parks. Let's see. Hopefully this isn't going too fast for you guys. I mean, I know it might not be able to catch every detail, but I mean, this is hours of footage, but I did it all in one night. Like this isn't like a huge park, but it's not small either. I think it's medium. And there's only like one or two like small parks, so, or maybe only one. I think the one in England or the UK, whatever it is. Most of this thing was just me like utilizing like the fact that the path for the gyrosphere was already laid down, and you can kind of, you know, build your terrain within that, like the water and stuff, and kind of makes nice little paths surrounded by water for the gyrosphere. And then here we're gonna start doing I thought for a second like that if I put that down over that gap, it was going to have like a gap underneath that aviary, but that was not the case, unfortunately. So I did not build it out that way. But this is obviously going to be the Dsungaripterus. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to say that right. Like I say it in my head perfectly fine all the time. Saying it out loud, not so much. So yeah, so this will be the flyer area plus, you know, more guest areas. I think I screwed around with the terrain because I was getting to the point where I was like, this is towards the end of it. And like I said, I did this all like in one night last night, and I was starting to get not tired, like sleepy tired, but just, you know, doing one park in one go. I think I stopped for dinner, but you know, basically like 2 sessions of just sitting here building a park the whole time. And I was like, okay, so I kind of just started messing with the terrain to kind of get it done faster instead of like laying down buildings and making paths and stuff like that. But I really wish it was like easier to build and put feeders and stuff like that in these aviaries. Like, I mean, I get it. It's like an enclosed space, and I'm sure it was, you know, it's not easy to do it this way. And I don't even know if there's a way to fix it other than making like really wide, like, aviaries, which is definitely like, you know, not a bad idea, because I find that the pterosaurs get stuck less often too. Although since update 1, I have not had one get stuck yet, but I also haven't built very many new aviaries. So yeah, I mean, it hasn't been that long since the update came out, so, but I haven't had anything get stuck, and I didn't have any get stuck this whole time I was building, so that they may have actually fixed that, which would be great. Either that, or I've just become cautious enough with like the trees and everything that they don't get stuck anymore. Could go either way. Gratuitous use of decorations incoming, especially up here. I think I'm gonna have a rock wall. I wish we could put the rocks on top of each other. I mean, obviously it's not a function of the game, so I don't know if that's something you could add in. I love watching the rocks go down at like high speed. It's just like, and then yeah, you can tell right there, I was like, okay, that's too many rocks. Well, do love rocks. The park that I'm building in Prehistoric Kingdom, I'm just like rocks everywhere. I love it. Yeah, so let's see. This is just laying down some buildings that. Oh, I was gonna say. I thought, yeah, that brush right there, that one that just laid down on that red bushes. That's the one I really like. I would put that everywhere if I could. One thing I would love, and it would probably be weird because I think you would have to mess with the building boundaries, but it would be really cool in my opinion if they let you, just the monorail, only with the monorail, let you cut across like the out of bounds territory, because I think that would look really cool. It'd be a really neat way to get from one place to the other, and then you wouldn't have the problem that I just ran into, which was that I couldn't like put like the spot where my monorail station was at. I could not get the track out on the other side. It was out of bounds, so I was forced to like kind of just, you know, I did it completely differently. I would have just liked to have a short little trip from here to the previous area, but no. So instead my guests get a long seaside view if they want to go the whole way, which I mean is fine, but I think it would be really neat, like if the monorails, and only the monorail track, was allowed to cross over like kind of like this out of bounds area right here to that was on the left side. Like if I could have crossed over that would have been really cool. So not to like, you know, let you build in it, but just to let you put your monorail tracks down. I think that'd be a neat, like a neat little thing to do. Doubt they would ever do that. Doubt they'll ever hear the suggestion, but I'm putting it out there. That'd be cool. I mean, if a modder can do that, that'd be sweet too. If there's any modders watching or listening, I would definitely like love something like that. It'd be really cool. More gratuitous use of rocks and trees. I think, yeah, this is where I was kind of starting to be like, okay, I can't keep, like I wasn't originally planning on making like a whole park. I was just I was even throwing like, oh yeah, light fixtures on top of that hill. There we go. Yeah, like I originally wasn't planning on making a whole park. I was just gonna make one enclosure for each dinosaur or creature, and then, you know, even if on different maps or whatever, and it would just kind of be like focused in spot. You wouldn't see the whole map, and then I just kind of went nuts. Now, this is a gratuitous amount of planters, but I'm not gonna keep them all there. Sometimes I do this just so I can kind of have like even spacing, because, you know, I'm not that great at keeping everything aligned, and I wanted to have flags and the planters alternating, so I was like, well, if I put them all, you know, if you put all the decorations down and then delete like every other one, you've got I mean, it's not perfectly even because I did it pretty quick, but you have a relatively like even spacing. It just looks a little bit more uniform. And there we go. That is the whole build, and we're gonna zip through the park real quick, I think. And I will leave you alone to enjoy the rest of this tour without me yammering in your ear, as I have been for the last 20-ish minutes. So yes, thank you as always for checking out my video. I really do appreciate it. If you're new around here, consider subscribing, leave a like, comment, let me know what you like, what you don't like. Did you get the DLC pack? Do you like the dinosaurs? I do. I think they're pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you around next time. I, of course, will be back with more speed builds, more Jurassic World content real soon. Until then, have a good one.